Hey, I'm Taylor, and my brain's a mess. If yours is too, welcome. This podcast is for folks who feel overwhelmed, anxious, or just tired of pretending everything's fine. I'm a therapist, but this isn't therapy. It's real talk about being a human. Let's dive in. Today, we are walking on a tightrope between two truths. Your feelings are valid, and your feelings are not always facts. And the kicker? Holding both of those at the same time is part of the real emotional work. If you've ever felt something so strongly that it had to be true, but then found out it wasn't, or if you've ever shut down your emotions entirely because feelings aren't facts, this episode is for you. Feelings aren't facts has kind of become a therapy cliche. You'll see it on Pinterest boards, motivational mugs, and sometimes even weaponized in arguments. You feel like I don't care, but that's not a fact. You're overreacting. Feelings aren't facts, remember? Or that's just your anxiety talking. And yes, technically, it's true. But without context, it can sound like your feelings don't matter. You're being irrational, or you should ignore your gut. And that's not the point. The real idea behind feelings aren't facts is this. Just because something feels true doesn't mean it is, but it still matters. Your feelings are information, but they're not always accurate interpretations of reality. And learning the difference can change your life. So let's talk about what feelings really are, neurologically speaking. Emotions are neurobiological responses. They're created by your brain and body in response to your environment, your thoughts, and even your internal memories and associations. In other words, you don't just decide to feel something, your nervous system reacts, and the feeling follows. So when you feel shame after a conversation, panic in a calm situation, or rejection after a neutral text, that doesn't mean you're broken. It means your system is interpreting something as important or dangerous. Your feelings are your body's way of saying, hey, something's coming up. Can you check this out? But just like a fire alarm goes off when you burn toast, sometimes your feelings are reacting to smoke, not fire. So a key skill in emotional regulation is separating the feeling from the story it brings with it. Let's say your partner forgets to text you back. You feel hurt, anxious, uneasy, totally valid. But then the story shows up. They're ignoring me. They must be mad at me. I'm too much. This always happens. No one really wants me. The feeling might be lonely or uncertain. The story sounds more like abandonment, rejection, and worthlessness. And the story often gets repeated because it fits into a pattern your nervous system already knows. So instead of asking, is this feeling wrong? Try asking, is the story I'm attaching to this feeling the only possible story? That's not invalidating. That's expanding your awareness. And you're not rejecting the feeling, you're getting curious about it. This is the part that most people skip. They either live completely in their emotions and believe everything they feel is true, or completely suppress their emotions because they don't trust them. The middle path? Feeling the feeling, naming the feeling, letting it pass through, then deciding what to do with the story. Here's how, because it's never that easy. First is to name the emotion, not just bad or off. Get specific. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling rejected. Or I'm feeling overwhelmed. Naming helps move it out of your limbic system and into your thinking brain. Then notice the thought that follows. What is your brain telling you this feeling means? Write it down. Say it out loud. Often just hearing the thought makes it easy to challenge. Then regulate before you respond. You don't have to act from the height of your emotion. Instead, try a few grounding moves by, as always, that cold water on the face, orienting to your space around you, pressing your feet into the floor as if it were going to fall out from under you, or take a short walk, even just across the room. The goal isn't to suppress the feeling. It's to give your system enough regulation to choose a response instead of reacting from the spiral. Now, let me be clear. This is not about gaslighting yourself. Sometimes your feelings are pointing to something real. That pit in your stomach about a toxic situation, that's not just a feeling, it's data. That anxious response around a person who's been cruel in the past, that's history stored in your body. That rage you feel after being dismissed, that's not irrational, it's self protection. So, this work is about discernment, not dismissal. It's about asking, is this feeling trying to protect me? What's underneath this? And what do I want to do with this information? Your gut and your brain can work together. You don't have to choose one or over the other. Your gut and your brain can work together. You don't have to choose one over the other. Feelings are messy. They're not math, but they're also not meaningless either. They're real, they're valid, and they're sometimes just passing through. So if you're someone who feels deeply but second guessing yourself constantly, struggles with your trust in your intuition, or swings between overreacting and shutting down, just know that your feelings don't make you irrational, they make you human. The goal isn't to control your feelings, it's to have a relationship with them. Treat them like visitors, to listen, respond with curiosity, and decide who gets what to stay. The goal isn't to control your feelings, it's to have a relationship with them, to treat them like visitors, to listen, respond with curiosity, and then decide what gets to stay. That's it for today. Thanks for being here. If this episode helped you feel a little more human, share it with someone who gets it. You'll find links to blog posts, the Safe and Sound Protocol, and other stuff I mention at innerhearttherapy.org. Take care of your messy, brilliant brain. I'll catch you next time.